Here we go.
Okay, today is October the 6th, 2023. My name is David Pyle, and I'm interviewing Stanley Vigil at the Rocky Mountain Regional VA Medical Center in Aurora, Colorado, as part of the Remembering Our Veterans program. So Stanley, if you would you mind telling me about your childhood and where you were born and where you grew up?
Well, I technically born in Boulder, Colorado, and I grew up in Longmont. I went to middle school and high school in Longmont.
What year did you graduate?
I got out in 1981.
Is that right?
Class 81.
Okay, so young guy here. It's like, did you go into the Army then after that?
Well, I joined the military in 79.
Okay.
I'm still in high school. I went in basic training in 1980 to
So
Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
that was before your senior year in high school, or what?
That way before my senior.
Yeah.
Then I came back, finished my high school, and then went back and did my training, my MOS training at Fort Gordon, Georgia.
What? Well, before we get on with that, one of the things I learned is that you have a huge collection of toy soldiers.
Yes, I do.
And that began when you were a pretty young kid?
Yes, very young.
Tell me about that.
I collect Army men.
Okay.
Started off with a bag of Army men, 100 men, and I've been growing ever since. I have a lot of different trucks and tanks and different jets and cargo planes, C-130s.
Really?
I got quite a bit.
That's amazing. So, and you've got thousands of soldiers, though, right?
Yes. Someday going to set it up.
How do you set this up then? How does that work?
Oh, it's going to take a while setting them up.
Yeah, no, I would imagine it would with that many.
Oh, so much to pay a whole day. I want to get it all accounted for and see how many I get. Probably the largest Army set.
Have you ever done any photographing of these things?
Yes, I have. When they were young.
That would be a really kind of interesting thing to do as well, as far as
me and my brother have been thinking about getting a little drone with a camera on it and just fly over the set. See how we take pictures going over the different tanks and all that, and men. And
sure. Do you put it? Is it on a kind of a board or something like that?
No, it's on the floor.
Okay. On the floor.
Everything.
You have landscape or anything?
Landscape. Like we put up Constantine wires and little things like that.
Really, that's amazing.
Yep.
So it sounds like you've got at least a division going on there.
Yes.
Something if not more.
We're in one division.
Really? More than one division. Well, that's really amazing. So does that occupy quite a bit of your time?
Yeah, I've been off and on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go back to your military service then. You went in right after high school then?
I got in 79.
Okay.
I doing drills before I went to basic training. We do that a weekend, once a month. When I got back, I did 2 weeks. Our annual training during the summertime. We go on for every summer down Fort Carson,
okay,
or up in Guernsey, Wyoming.
Really, what's in Guernsey, Wyoming?
It's a camp, National Guard camp.
Okay.
We go up there, fire artillery guns. That's why I'm field artillery.
Yeah. So, did your high school in Longmont have a ROTC program, ROTC?
No, we don't.
You didn't. Okay.
I just report to my armory in Longmont.
So you were like 17 when you started with that whole thing?
I started with Headquarter Battalion, 157 Field Artillery. That's my MOS was a field wireman. We set up a communication line, switchboard, the line to the battery to to the headquarters, and they get their communication to fire the guns.
So let me ask you this: is that all wireless now? Do you?
No, that
still
phased out many years ago.
Yeah, I would think that.
They knew they used a new type of technology. It's like a handheld rocket,
Yeah,
quick, whatever they call it back then. Today, what we use today.
right. So are you still active in the Guard? Or you
I
from that?
retired finally.
Okay.
I did 23 years.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, and were you able to go up through the ranks then?
Yes.
Good on you. It's like, well, that's so. What motivated you to join the Army?
Because the Cold War going on.
Yeah,
Ronald Reagan just got into office, building up the armed enforcement, and the National Guard are going to be part of it during the Cold War. Our training to defend Europe in case the Soviet will invade Germany, Poland, Germany,
sure.
and
All of that going on there.
that's what we are afraid of the most. But glad that didn't happen.
That's for sure. But considering everything that's going on right now,
Yeah.
it's kind of an increasing concern. So it's like in terms of the Guard, then, as far as your duties with that, do you guys go out around the state when there are emergencies and things
Yes,
like
we
that?
do.
You did.
Yes.
How often would you guys deploy with that?
Well, every time we have a fire,
Really?
we get called out on that. We have a major flood, we get called out to support the state and our community. The last flood that happened is 2013. The National Guard got called out
Sure.
because the massive flooding up in Lyme, Boulder, and Longmont. And I get up in there, get the people out.
So you also then were deployed over in the Gulf War, was it?
Yes, I did.
Tell me about that.
Well, right around Thanksgiving, I got called up, turned my equipment in, my old unit, and I went down to Pueblo.
I'm sorry, where?
Pueblo.
Pueblo.
Colorado.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Pueblo, Colorado. It's a 217th Metal Battalion. And I cooked for them for the whole thing.
Is that right?
Yes.
So when you were over in the Gulf, then you were working as a cook?
I was working as a cook, non-stop.
I can imagine. But, how about your experience there? Did that have a pretty strong effect on you?
That helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
I meet a lot of people and work with, other cooks. And also helped them out much I could have.
Sure. Yeah. How long were you over there?
9 months.
9 months. Now this was like 1991 or so?
91, yeah 1990 to 91. The war started, I think around August, because Saddam invaded Kuwait, was called up the military
Right.
to support Saudi Arabia and get Saddam out of Kuwait.
So you were in Kuwait whatever.
We were in Kuwait when we came back around. We went into Iraq, 50 miles from Baghdad.
Really?
And we turned around and went back into Kuwait. That's where we sat. Make sure nothing happened to Kuwait.
Right.
I was the first cav.
You really first cav?
First cavalry.
Yeah. That's certainly has a long, illustrious history there as well.
They got a lot of history.
I bet they do, for sure. Well, that's amazing. So, do you have any fond memories, things that you particularly remember from your time there or in service, just in general?
Just the war. Yeah. I mean, the war, B-52 coming in, dropping their load, and we taking the prisoners.
Sure.
We giving them MREs and feeding them water, giving them water, and They didn't want to fight,
No.
but it's sad for them. But at least we got the job done.
No. Well, what about as far as just your experience in the Guard in general? Are there particular incidents or events that took place that you stick out in your mind there?
I did a lot of training.
Yeah.
I got at least about 5 or 6 MOSs.
Really?
Started off being a wireman, cook, surveyor, 13 Bravo cannon crew. That's the best MOS I ever served.
13 Bravo?
That's firing the guns, the big guns.
Really? Sure.
That's a M109 howitzer. That's one of the best howitzer guns in the artillery. That we replaced the 8-inch. That's a heavier artillery piece we use.
No.
Now phase that out. Then went to something more, a little bit smaller artillery piece.
No. So how many members were assigned to each artillery piece?
5.
There were 5 of you.
5.
And what were the various positions that they had?
We all trained in different positions. We
Really?
got a loader, we got a spotter, we got a one to set the fuse, and the other load the gun itself, the cannon. I mean the big round bullets. They call them.
They call them bullets even.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
They're 100-pound rounds.
100-pound round. Okay.
But kind of neat to shoot them.
Yeah.
You're throwing that type of round out of the barrel, just shooting it out. But I saw a lot of them in action during the Gulf War.
Yeah, I'll bet. That's, well, did you participate in that then too, or?
Well, I said I did my cooking.
Yeah.
I did KP. I do anything when it must be done. I did it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go out shoot my M16. We're always shooting our rifle because we had to be ready all time. But where we're at, we're in the front, but we're not. But we have to be ready in case we get attacked.
Sure.
But right, everything's all set up. They never attacked us. They surrendered.
That was a pretty short war there.
Very short, 100 hours.
Was that what it was?
Yep.
God, I'd forgotten that, but I knew it. Yeah, that's amazing. So, what was the best part of your military service then for you?
Best part? Coming home.
Coming home? Yeah.
From the war.
Right. So you were there for 9 months. You were active duty for 9 months, and
and
then released from that.
Well, I had to stay a little bit, about a couple more months later, because I have a hernia problem, double hernia.
Really? Hernia? Yeah.
And they had to make sure I get treated for that. They didn't kick me out because they had to do surgery on active duty.
Sure.
To make sure I'm 100% fit going back to my unit. And they treated me good.
That's great. That's great that you got the medical attention. Speaking of which, then you came back to the VA and you've been involved in a program here.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Got back. I didn't have any help for a while. I finally got help 2011. I got into a program here in Denver. Started off in Champa Street. And the program is life skills. I got into that. I've been with them till about 5 years ago.
Really? Okay.
And I might be going back to life skills sometime in October and have something to do.
What about the program itself? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The program definitely helped a lot of veterans to with PTSD, and I've been suffering with that since I got back home
Hmm.
with a problem with PTSD, and they definitely have a good program for it. They had different classes I got into. So I mean, handle with my PTSD.
Sure. Well, it sounds like they had a group then, or a therapy group that you were
They
working
do
with
have
and all that.
therapy.
Yeah.
I had a case manager.
Yeah, your team, whatever.
Hmm.
Uh,
And they worked with me on that.
yeah,
And I'm pretty happy that they're there for me.
sure.
But what I said, I'm going back in October to pick up
Well,
something to do
sure.
at the VA.
Yeah, that'd be a great thing. If you can work as a kind of a peer counselor or something like that, or with guys.
Something like that.
Yeah, that would be a good thing. That's like, yeah,
Till I get my programs off the ground and go around, set up my Army stuff,
sure.
different area. And I'm trying to sell some of the
Really?
product.
On eBay or something.
Hmm.
Really? Yeah.
And
Well, it sounds like you've got a lot invested in that,
yes,
in terms of time and money, etc. That's quite the passion. You know, it's a very unusual story. How large are these soldiers then?
about this big.
Little green plastic men?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Okay. Not like you're painting them and things like that, right?
No, I'll be little as it is.
Yeah.
They're green, they're neat.
I I've come across it seems the toy soldier thing that a lot of folks who are really into that from
Mhm.
different periods of history as well.
A lot of people collect them.
Yeah, no,
There are
exactly.
people collect the Civil War.
Right. Like,
No, they came out with female soldiers.
is that right?
They came out about 5 years ago.
Right.
Finally.
Right. Finally.
Now they came out with one. It's a small bag. It's the Korean War, and that's going to be worth some money.
Really? Yeah.
You keep them in the pouch and let time go
Sure.
by.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
They go and do it to every war.
Yeah.
World War One, World War Two, the Korean War
Sure.
in Vietnam, till Desert Storm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be a kind of an interesting hobby there for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So what about your late after whatever, about late or after your service? Because I figure you were National Guard for 23 years. Did you have a regular job, kind of
Well, my
occupation?
job is really hard to keep a job because a lot of company out there don't like to hire guardsmen
Yeah.
because they're afraid you get called up
Right.
and have to take off, or afraid you get called up going to war.
Sure.
You have to go to war, and they lose. I had to hire somebody to take your place. It's kind of hard for me for a job. If I knew, I could have gone into a regular army and done that way. But I love state. I love being the National Guards.
Yeah.
That's one thing I love the most, being a guardsman.
So besides the toy soldiers, do you have any other hobbies that keep you interested?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things are you into? You're a cat person, I understand.
Yes, we have pretty good number of cats.
Really? Do you even know how many cats you got?
uh,
16.
I think 16 cats.
16 cats?
Yeah, we're going to get a house.
That's quite a number of cats.
Yeah, keep me going.
Are they all spayed? Are you?
Going to be 4 of them going to be spayed.
Yeah.
They're going to be kind of hurting for a while.
Yeah. Well, I would think that would keep you kind of busy with those things for sure.
Yeah, they will.
Feeding and cleaning them up and all that. And,
Me and my wife make sure of that.
trying to
I make
herd
sure
cats there, you know. It's like,
I make sure they get fed every day.
yeah, yeah. That's. So let's see. So any amazing once in a lifetime experience that you've had outside of the military?
No,
Okay.
no. I think of some of the thing of being a bus driver,
Did you work as a bus driver for a while?
yeah, school bus driver. I kind of enjoy that the most.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, right now, you're pretty much retired in general?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a caregiver right now. I help my brother out. He's disabled. He had Guillain-Barré, but I had to help him fix, cook for him.
Sure.
And,
Does he live with you?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's another thing why we need a house.
Sure. Absolutely.
Right now we're in a apartment, not an apartment, a motel.
Really? Okay.
We've been there for a number of years.
21 years.
21 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
In a motel?
In a motel.
Okay. Huh. Is this in Aurora around here?
Denver.
Denver. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. And you're able to, they don't have a problem with your cats and things?
No.
Yeah. Well, that's great that you're able to do that. So how has your military service affected your life in general then? What do you think?
I think it does open up some of the areas. Career. I got into the fire department, volunteer fire department.
Really? Yeah.
I did 5 years of it, and I had a lot of training on that, being a firefighter.
How'd you like that? Was it pretty interesting?
It really, really fun.
Yeah, it'd be quite a challenge to do something like that.
It is.
What about life lessons? Any life lessons from the military? What kind of things did you feel aided you in your life experience?
Well, definitely being responsible helped me out. I learned a lot. Something I have challenged to do in my life. Because the military helped me out on that.
Sure. That's true. Well, responsibility and accountability there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, are there any things about that you miss about the military?
Well, I kind of miss going to drills.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you make some pretty good friendships there?
Yeah.
I would think you would. Like,
we're all like family. I kind of miss that. I kind of miss the people there and people I kind of enjoyed to work with. We all gone. We all kind of grown up and all went our own way.
so how large of a unit was there here in Denver?
In Longmont,
Or Longmont, okay.
we have about 100 people.
Is that right?
Yep. And I know how many people I cook for.
Yeah.
And I know every face in that unit. When we go down range, know who I cook for that unit only. And I know every one of them.
Right.
And what I said, they're not there anymore. They're all left or went different states.
Well,
But that back in 1980.
well, I would think, imagine cooking for 100 or so people would be quite the challenge there.
Yeah, it is.
And so with the guys in your unit, then would they perform KP and things like that, or how did that work?
Yeah.
Really?
They certain ranks, E4 down.
Really?
They usually pull the name. They pull the name. Who's going to be pulling KP?
Yeah. I think they've pretty much eliminated that now in the military.
They did. No more KP.
I know that was an integral part of the whole experience. You know, it's like, well. So, what do you wish that more people knew or understood about the meaning civilians here? about veterans of the military service?
Veteran is, I'm proud to be a veteran. I never thought about being a veteran when I joined the military. I went to boot camp and all that. I'm really proud when I passed boot camp, made it through boot camp. There's a lot of people who never did made it through boot camp.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I'm proud. I got a patch put on and I did it.
It's true. It was quite the challenge, wasn't it?
Big time challenge.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, yeah. And so, what about what would you like people to know or remember from your own personal journey here? What any legacy you feel like you've got there?
Being a veteran is more important. And I mean, that's every conflict we have, including peacetime. We went in, we did what we supposed to be done, and we're proud of what we done. Peacetime and wartime. To the beginning of this country till today, what we had done.
Yeah. So, is there anything that you'd like to add that we haven't covered in this interview?
No,
You think we've sort of
I think we did it.
covered it fairly well here?
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess that'll be it then. So, thank you, Stanley, for your time, for the interview, and for your service. It's appreciated.
Got it.
Virtually.
Were we able to discuss your PTSD?
Yes.
Do you want to do that? Go into that?
That'd be really important. If you could.
Sure. No, exactly. How do you, in terms of?
Just we need to dive into what that experience was like, how he was able to recover through life skills, those sorts of things.
Okay. Sure.
My PTSD most with the war itself, constant, you're hearing the rounds going off, you're hearing bombs going off, working long hours. I would work 18 hours. Sometimes we get about 5 hours, 6 hours sleep. Sometimes we don't ever get sleep at all. Lasts for 3 or 4 days. And if we do, we don't sleep that long.
Right.
That's lack of sleep is really kind of hard on us.
Absolutely, it is. It's, well,
But
so you think that's just all that shelling going on around you like that?
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
had its most profound effect on you.
it does.
Yeah.
Well, we see the distance when the bombers come in, start about 50 miles away. Then the bunker, they've blown up bunkers and all that, and with the chemical rounds in them, artillery round. Saddam had a lot of bunkers out there with his. Every time we find vehicles in them, tanks in them, and his artillery rounds. And what they do, they blow them all up. You can't use them. And the burn pit. The burn pit, we burn anything. Anything they throw in the pit, doesn't matter what it is. To hazardous material, to chemical material, they just throw in the pit and burn him. And the smoke go anywhere it wants.
Right. So you're impacted by that.
Yes.
That whole PACT Act that's come out now,
Yes.
What is it? Yeah. Yeah, no, that's had a profound effect on a lot of folks, I think, as well, for sure. It's become a very major issue there. And
so far, I had no cancer yet. Well, who knows?
no.
That might hit me sometime in the next couple of years.
So in terms of your PTSD, again, were you primarily depression and anxiety, or?
Yes.
No. Yeah. So you feel like that through the life skills program in terms of doing therapy, whatever? That,
Life skill is definitely there for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what the life skill is about. I mean, it's helped me out on that.
Sure.
But there are certain things I need get more medical treatment on the burn pit. That's the most important right there. Because I had a gut feeling I might not see 70.
Okay. So what about your health then? Are you, how are you holding up? Or,
Well, it helps is kind of on the line.
okay.
I've been taking more pills for the VA. The VA gave me a lot of medication, on a lot of treatment, on a lot of other things I've been having problem with. But they working on it.
You feel like you get pretty good care at the VA?
Yes.
I think so too. I think it's been a real godsend, I think,
So far.
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the VA, truth be told. It's like, well, so I think that, what do you, that covers it.
Okay.
Again, thank you, okay?
Okay.
Appreciate it.